Left, right. Up, down. A, B, select.
Woo, what are you doing?
I'm trying to enter the cheat codes for this goddamn fantasy football league.
Or you could just do better.
Yeah, well, I'm not the one wearing testicles around her neck. I don't get it. These cheat codes worked in week 1.
Three games were decided by 1 point this week. Nick and his auto draft bots beat Kyle in a close 130 to 129 matchup.
Kyle had the league's top scorer, Josh Allen, with 45 points, but he got -3 out of his Tampa Bay defense. Florida's gonna Florida.
Nick does pretty well with most of his starters, while Kyle's 2 rostered running backs pull in only 20 points, and all of his benched receivers exceeded projections, so he's got that going for him.
McCaffrey appears to be out for a couple weeks. Kyle gets Deja's sloppy seconds with a Drake pickup this morning.
Hey, you gotta start somewhere.
In another close contest, Ed brings in his second win and hands Carrie-Ann her third loss in a tight 107-106 defeat.
Carrie-Ann started out pretty strong, but ran out of steam with low numbers from Mooney Hawk and Amari Cooper.
Ed gets some disappointing numbers from starting quarterback Daniel Jones, while Joe Burrow exceeds expectations on his bench.
Tough loss there, Carrie-Ann. Ed also has his work cut out for him as he faces undefeated Deja next week.
Someone's gotta stop her. You can do it!
And in our final close game, the Sacco Queen eats cheetah meat for breakfast. Suck it, Jeff.
Despite having 5 single-digit starters, Veronica somehow pulls out a win over Jeffrey and his squad, 111 to 110.
Jeff leaves his highest scoring receiver, Hunter Renfrow, on his bench, just 9 points out of Tyreek this week.
B-Ron faces Shan next, while Jeff looks to improve his standing in a face-off with Kyle.
Claypool with 18 points, Pitts with just 5. I wonder who got the better part of the trade.
And now on to some matchups that are, shall we say, less close. Quitter Ian brings in the highest score so far this year with 207 points over Shan-Chi.
Shan puts up his best numbers of the year with high marks from Devontae Adams and James Robinson. Bus Falls just 67 points short.
The win was unanimous. Double digits across all his starters, 19 from his D. The only one crying Ian tears this week was Shan-Chi.
Ian continues his undefeated streak while Shan's early season win is 10 miles back in the rearview mirror.
It's up to Patty to see if he can take down Ian's ball deflator next week. You can do it!
Speaking of Patty, Patrick gets his first win as the Miles bot sits in low power mode on the sidelines. Beep boop.
Miles didn't get squat out of Juju and Julio this week, while Beasley and Stafford brought in some big numbers on his bench.
Patty pulls in some goodness from Herbert, Swift, and Saquon. It's about time. Patty wins 138 to 102.
The Miles bot continues to get lower and lower scores each game. He'd better power up soon. Miles faces Carrie-Ann this week, and she's looking to do some hanging.
Deja continues her undefeated winning streak as Team Screw Girls get screwed 87 to 129.
I got nothing. I mean, literally 0.3 points out of A.J. Brown, while Cook and Antonio Brown sit out with injuries and COVID. I hate football.
Drake, Debo, and Lamar come out with little less than marvelous this week, but it doesn't take much when Team Woo Girls had the lowest score in the league. Woo takes on Nick next week.
Hey Nick, I figured out the cheat codes.
Do better.
Next week, hubba hubba, Ed's got a chubba for Chubba, paying $33 for him. Will it pay off?
Carrie-Ann is on the hunt to break her losing streak. Half of the league sits at 1 and 2.
Only Ed and Patty have the power to dethrone the undefeated Ian and Deja.
Here's hoping one of them is going to get wrecked.